Hey Cowboys Nation, welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly made a move that could send shockwaves across the entire league. As sources suggest, they are positioning Chase Young to become the new terror of opposing offensive lines. Rumors swirling around the team hint that internal discussions have centered on maximizing Young's unique combination of speed, power, and intelligence to redefine how the Cowboys approach their defensive schemes. While the front office has remained tight-lipped, insiders claim that coaches are envisioning him as a centerpiece, someone capable of altering not just single plays, but entire drives. Fans and analysts alike are speculating on the ripple effects this could have, imagining games where quarterbacks must account for Young on every snap, potentially changing the entire rhythm of offenses. The idea seems to be that by channeling his explosive pass-rushing ability, the Cowboys could force mistakes, turnovers, and pressure situations that might have seemed improbable in previous seasons. Conversations within league circles reportedly emphasize that integrating a talent like Young isn't just a tactical upgrade. It's a cultural shift, signaling that Dallas is fully committed to instilling fear and unpredictability in their opponents, which could redefine the team's identity in ways that might be more psychological than purely statistical, making this move potentially historic if it comes to fruition in the way insiders predict. Sources close to the situation are suggesting that the Cowboys coaching staff has been obsessively studying Young's movements, tendencies, and even his psychological approach to the game, imagining how to exploit his strengths while minimizing any weaknesses that opponents might try to manipulate. There's chatter about new formations, strategic blitz packages, and stunts specifically designed around Young's abilities, and while nothing has been confirmed publicly, the speculation is driving fans into a frenzy. Analysts on social media have started mapping hypothetical matchups, discussing how offensive lines might struggle against his combination of acceleration, hand technique, and sheer power, projecting scenarios where a single player could dominate an entire unit. The narrative forming around Young is one of almost mythic potential, where his impact extends beyond traditional statistics, influencing team morale, fan expectations, and even the league's broader defensive trends. Rumors hint at secret training regimens and behind-the-scenes adjustments in the Cowboys' facilities, with sources claiming that coaches are experimenting with unconventional methods to amplify his natural explosiveness. Speculative reports also suggest that Young's presence could reshape the Cowboys' draft priorities, free agent approach, and in-game rotations, as the team might build around his presence to create a multi-layered defensive threat. The talk among insiders paints a picture where Young is not just a player, but a force capable of dictating the flow of games before they even begin. And if this speculation holds true, it could mark a seismic shift for Dallas' defensive philosophy. Fans have taken to social media to theorize about how offensive coordinators around the league might adjust if Young truly becomes the terror he is rumored to be, imagining entire game plans rewritten to avoid his rush lanes and anticipate his unpredictability. There are murmurs about him drawing double teams, forcing opponents to shift linemen, and creating openings for his teammates, which could make the entire defense more formidable. Commentary suggests that even if Young isn't officially announced in a specific role, his mere presence on the roster is enough to generate strategic anxiety among rivals. Speculative stories are circulating that highlight previous games where he showed flashes of this potential, with insiders claiming that those performances are a mere glimpse of what Dallas hopes to unleash consistently. Enthusiasts are debating whether his skill set will allow the Cowboys to dictate tempo rather than react to offenses, effectively turning every snap into a chess match where Young serves as the unpredictable queen. Rumors are even suggesting that team meetings have been dedicated solely to integrating his abilities into every conceivable scenario, from short yardage situations to high-pressure third downs, emphasizing that Dallas envisions a defensive revolution built around his explosive talent. If these speculations hold, analysts argue, Young could redefine how the Cowboys approach the entire season, creating a narrative that stretches far beyond wins and losses, potentially cementing his legacy even before a full season unfolds. Some insiders are also suggesting that the move to elevate Young isn't just about on-field performance, but also about shaping the team's culture and mentality. Rumors claim that coaches are using his work ethic and intensity as a template for younger players, aiming to cultivate a mindset of relentless pursuit and aggression. There's chatter that locker room dynamics might shift, with veterans and newcomers alike inspired or challenged by the prospect of learning from a player who could dominate any offensive line. Speculation abounds that Young's influence might extend beyond his individual stats, serving as a catalyst for overall defensive cohesion, energy, and confidence. Analysts have pointed out that in practice sessions, sources say Young reportedly intimidates with his consistency, speed, and situational awareness, forcing teammates to elevate their own game just to keep up. Rumors further suggest that this could impact the Cowboys' strategic planning across multiple seasons, as coaches might craft schemes around a single generational talent, adjusting everything from player rotations to practice intensity to maximize his impact. Fans are imagining scenarios where Young not only disrupts opponents, but also inspires a defensive identity that could make Dallas a team feared not just for its roster, but for its relentless, psychological pressure on every play. The buzz surrounding Young has even sparked speculation about potential rivalries, with rumors hinting that certain divisional matchups could take on an added layer of intensity because of his presence. Analysts suggest that teams might spend weeks analyzing film, trying to anticipate his tendencies, and yet still struggle to contain his unpredictable bursts. Rumors indicate that some offensive coaches are already theorizing counter-strategies, although the general consensus among insiders seems to be that no single plan could fully neutralize a player of his caliber. Fan communities are abuzz with what-if scenarios, imagining how Young could turn the tide in crucial games, force critical turnovers, and even psychologically unnerve opposing quarterbacks before a single snap. Speculation extends to potential awards, honors, and league-wide recognition, with insiders suggesting that if Dallas successfully leverages his talent, he could redefine standards for defensive play across the league. The narrative forming in fan and analyst circles paints Young as a transformative figure, someone whose impact could extend beyond statistics into the intangible realm of fear, strategy, and league-wide influence. The rumors continue to intensify, suggesting that this isn't just a signing or a strategic tweak, but a potential paradigm shift in how defensive dominance is conceptualized and executed in the NFL. Even more speculative reports hint at secret strategies that the Cowboys might employ to keep Young fresh, unpredictable, and unstoppable throughout the season. Rumors suggest rotational schemes, situational play calling, and even disguised alignments designed to exploit his burst speed and hand techniques while keeping opponents guessing. Analysts are theorizing that if Dallas truly capitalizes on these ideas, Young could redefine not only his own career trajectory, but the way teams build their defensive rosters in the coming years. The speculation goes further, proposing that Young's presence could force other teams to rethink talent evaluation, contract negotiations, and long-term strategic planning, all because of the potential he holds as a single disruptive force. Fans are captivated by these scenarios, imagining highlight reel plays, game-changing sacks, and the psychological advantage Dallas might gain if Young becomes the terror of the league. The chatter even touches on potential mentorship roles, leadership dynamics, and the broader impact on team morale, with sources claiming that Young's influence could resonate far beyond what any traditional stat line might show. If this whirlwind of rumors holds any truth, it might mark the beginning of a new era in Dallas, one defined by unpredictability, intensity, and a single player's ability to shake the foundations of offensive strategy across the league. Rumors continue to circulate that the Dallas Cowboys may be planning to showcase Chase Young in scenarios that blur traditional defensive boundaries, turning him into a chess piece capable of creating confusion and panic among offensive lines. Insiders speculate that coaches are exploring unconventional alignments, where Young could line up at multiple spots on the line or even drop into coverage occasionally, forcing quarterbacks and coordinators to constantly adjust on the fly. Analysts have been theorizing about how this level of unpredictability could reshape game day strategies, suggesting that a single player operating under such freedom could render entire blocking schemes obsolete. Social media chatter indicates that fans are already imagining highlight reel moments, envisioning Young disrupting double teams, collapsing pockets, and forcing hurried throws that could tilt the balance of key drives. Sources hint that the team might even experiment with rotations that maximize Young's explosiveness while preserving his stamina, allowing him to strike at the most opportune moments. If true, this approach could make Dallas a nightmare matchup week after week, as offenses would have to account not only for his skill, but also for the ripple effects he generates, potentially creating opportunities for other defenders to capitalize on chaos that Young instigates, making the Cowboys' defense a psychological as well as tactical weapon, one that might redefine expectations for elite defensive play across the league. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Speculative reports suggest that beyond the tactical side, Chase Young's presence may influence the Cowboys' internal culture, elevating standards for effort, discipline, and competitive intensity. Insiders claim that coaches view him as a role model whose habits, focus, and preparation could serve as a blueprint for the rest of the roster. Rumors are circulating that team meetings, practice drills, and film sessions have subtly shifted to incorporate lessons from his approach, creating a feedback loop where his standards push teammates to raise their own. Analysts are theorizing that this influence could extend to every position group, as linemen, linebackers, and even secondary players are inspired or challenged by the prospect of aligning with someone rumored to dominate opposing offensive lines single-handedly. Fans speculate about locker room dynamics, imagining young players seeking mentorship from Young, while veterans adjust to his intensity and perhaps even adapt their routines to match his level of preparation. This speculation paints a picture of Dallas not merely acquiring talent, but cultivating a culture of relentless pursuit, accountability, and fearlessness, where Young serves as the catalyst for a transformation that could ripple throughout the entire organization, creating a defensive identity that thrives on chaos, pressure, and psychological advantage over every opponent. There are also whispers that rival teams are already attempting to anticipate how Dallas might deploy Young. But insiders claim that the Cowboys are deliberately keeping plans opaque, cultivating uncertainty as a strategic weapon. Rumors suggest that teams have been studying his previous performances, but scouts admit that predicting his impact in a new environment is nearly impossible. Analysts are speculating about how offensive lines might be forced to adjust snap after snap, sometimes overcompensating for Young's speed, other times misjudging his angles, resulting in breakdowns that could lead to turnovers or stall drives. Social media speculation fuels the narrative further, with fans theorizing about game-changing moments in critical situations, imagining Young collapsing pockets, pressuring elite quarterbacks, and influencing the flow of entire contests without ever needing to touch the ball. Inside stories suggest that the Cowboys may have even discussed situational packages to keep him unpredictable, rotating him across downs or disguising his presence until the last moment, adding a layer of psychological warfare. If these rumors hold any truth, the strategy could make Dallas a prototype for a new type of defensive dominance, where disruption, versatility, and intimidation define success more than raw statistics alone, leaving the league scrambling to respond to a player who might change the way defensive football is played. Some speculation hints at the long-term implications of Young's role, suggesting that the Cowboys could be planning to build their future around his presence, molding schemes, drafting priorities, and free agent acquisitions to complement his skill set. Insiders claim that coaches are projecting how his influence could expand over multiple seasons, creating a defensive core centered on chaos, pressure, and the ability to dictate the pace of games. Analysts are theorizing that this could lead to shifts in personnel strategies, as Dallas might prioritize players who thrive in high-pressure environments, are versatile, or can capitalize on the opportunities young creates. Social media chatter imagines scenarios where even teams outside the division must adapt to a defensive blueprint designed to maximize the disruption caused by a single explosive talent. Rumors also suggest that the coaching staff is analyzing his biomechanics, studying angles, hand usage, and burst patterns, with the goal of engineering schemes that optimize his natural gifts while keeping him fresh throughout the season. If these speculative strategies are accurate, Young's influence could extend far beyond individual games, setting a precedent for how elite defensive players are utilized across the league and potentially forcing a reevaluation of how teams construct rosters, draft talent, and measure defensive success in the modern era. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.